Welcome to my channel. This is unique for me. Yeah, thanks my subscribers. And please, if you have not subscribed, please go to YouTube and subscribe on Unique for Me. YOUNIQUEFUNMI. Thank you. Okay, so today I'll try to make this short. I just want to encourage us. It's a Christian chat. It's Sunday. It's a Sunday chat, aka Christian chat. I just want to encourage us about this thing, this lesson that I learned. I've been studying the book of John lately, and I just kept going back to the story of Lazarus in John chapter 11. If you have time, you can just go and study. There are so many lessons to learn from there, but I just feel like, okay, let's just let me share this with us today. Let me just share this. It's actually very useful, and although I learned a lot, many lessons from that John chapter 11, it's very, very handy. If you can just go to it. There are so many things that the Holy Spirit will lead you to learn from it. But today, I want to encourage us about this. There are situations that it seems that God is not, it seems your prayers are not answered. It happens to everybody. And that sometimes it seems God is not listening, or am I doing something wrong, or am I not doing, maybe I'm not praying right, maybe I was supposed to have fasted, and why did this thing happen? Why did God allow this situation to happen? If you look at the story of Lazarus, we will see that sometimes, in fact, a lot of times, it's not like we are doing anything wrong or we are not praying right. You see, Lazarus' sisters, Mary and Martha, they told Jesus. Jesus knew. In fact, from the beginning of the chapter, you see that Jesus knew that Lazarus was ill before Lazarus died at all. Jesus himself told his disciples that Lazarus was ill. But he didn't go. He didn't go to heal him. You would expect that. And see, it wasn't as if Jesus did not like Lazarus. If you read that chapter, you see that Jesus loved him greatly, so much that that was the only place that is written that Jesus wept, But he just decided not to go. He was in another town, and he knew the moment that Lazarus died, even though he loved Lazarus, even when Mary and Martha sent for Jesus Christ, that Lazarus is ill, they said, Lazarus, the one whom you love, is sick. So it was like they were reminding him that this is our brother, and you love him. Remember that you love him. Remember all the reasons why you love him. Please don't let him die. But Jesus Christ did not go. He was doing other stuff, and he waited. Lazarus died. Was buried. Before he now said, okay, he will go. And then before he now went to heal him. And you see that period, if we read that chapter, we'll see that Mary and Martha were in great distress. They had cried. They had, they lost their brother. They thought he was gone. The situation was not reversible. And if you see that there were mourners around them, people had come to cry for them. They had also cried. They had given up. And, even on the way, when Jesus Christ was going to meet them, and he got to their town, before he reached them, Martha came to meet Jesus Christ and crying and was like, Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. And Jesus Christ said, that's, don't worry, your brother will rise up. He said, yes, I know, on the day of resurrection. She meant on the last day. So we can say that it was, of course, it was already buried. It was a done affair. That, okay, I know that he will still rise up. It's not, if you look at that, we'll see that she still went to meet him. Martha still went to meet him. Mary also, the faith of the sisters did not, I won't say their faith did not waver. I will say, despite it all, they still loved Jesus Christ. They still believed in him. And they were saying, okay, we know our brother is gone, but we'll see him on the day of resurrection, on the last day. Like most of us believe when we've lost our loved ones, we believe that we'll see them on resurrection day. But they still loved Jesus. In fact, one of them said that that I believe that you are the resurrection and life. It didn't make them to hate God. So what I will see there is that, see, whatever we are doing, in whatever situation we are, we should just pray for grace that we will not lose our faith. Okay. And see, people, if you look at the whole scenario, we'll see that after that, Jesus Christ still went into town and and Mary met him, and Mary also had given up. But if you study that chapter, you'll see that in every way it showed that Jesus loved Lazarus. So sometimes for us Christians, that we think bad things happen to people, or when bad things happen to brethren, is because maybe they didn't pray right. They prayed right. Like Martha and Mary prayed right. They prayed and they believed. Maybe because they didn't have faith. Sometimes, it's just God. It doesn't mean that that person doesn't have faith. It doesn't mean that if that person had only fasted more. It doesn't mean that if that person had only known how to pray or how to do certain things. Life and death are in the hands of God. And situations are in the hands of God. Sometimes it just leaves things, like the case of Lazarus. Jesus Christ said it's just for the glory of God. Sometimes God just leaves things and he allows things to happen to bring a miracle out of it, to bring a testimony out of it. Because if things had just happened like that, then there's no need, there won't be, we won't have avenues for testimonies or for miracles. So sometimes things happen not because people are not good, or because people have sinned, or because they are not the best and we are the best, and so it happens to them. No, it's just, everything is just in the hands of God. And also, as Christians, we should be careful when people are going through stuff. That's not the time to say, hey, yeah, if only you had prayed more. If only you had met my own pastor, my pastor would have done better. Or, my sister, there is one mountain that you should have gone. If only you had gone to that mountain, this thing would not have happened. Or, what were you looking at? What were you thinking? Why didn't you do the right things? And, this situation wouldn't have happened. Let's just leave things to God, okay? Because when God is ready, nobody can stop him. In the case of Lazarus, he was already buried. Even when Jesus Christ said to the sisters that let them remove the tombstone. They were saying, Lord, he will be stinking by now. This is a disgrace. Everyone will be smelling. This man is dead. Jesus Christ said, no. And then called Lazarus forth, prayed to God, and called Lazarus forth, and Lazarus came forth. He said, lose him and let him go. When God is ready to lose that situation, when he's ready to do what you think he can't do again, or something that you think is already done and dusted, nothing can stop God. So please, if you're going through anything, don't feel bad that you have not prayed enough. Just totally rely on God. Don't let it affect your faith. Don't let it don't be discouraged. And if you need to cry, maybe you cry. Mary and Martha were crying. They were mourning. They were crying. There were mourners around them. So it's not every mourner around them that actually is wanting them good for them. I'm sure some are actually there to cry on their behalf, that yes, this is an opportunity, let us cry for them. There will be many people around you. If it's discouraging, if people are discouraging you, refuse to be discouraged. Just face God, face him, and still believe him. Whatever the situation is, God knows how to take his children out of every situation, and to bring out testimonies out of every test and every battle. Okay, so thank you. That's just what I want to encourage us with today. If you can read John chapter 11, read it. I know that there's so many, in fact, there are so many lessons from it. There are many messages in that chapter that I don't know what else God may actually want to tell you from that chapter. Just go and study it and you will see. Okay, thank you for listening. Take care, and don't forget to subscribe to Unique Funmi. Please just go on YouTube and subscribe. Thank you. Take care. Have a wonderful week. Bye.